Emma and Jessica were assigned as roommates during their freshman year of college. Emma was quiet and reserved, while Jessica was outgoing and jovial. At first, Emma wasn't sure what to make of Jessica's energy, but as they spent more time together, she was drawn to her roommate's charisma and infectious personality. Over the next few weeks, Emma and Jessica got to know each other better. They discovered they had a lot in common, from their love of music to their love of classic novels. They began studying together, eating together, and even occasionally went out together to parties. Emma felt a connection with Jessica that she had never felt with anyone else before. She admired Jessica's confidence and strength and was inspired by her determination to make the most of her college experience. As the semester progressed, Emma found herself looking forward to spending more time with Jessica. She couldn't help but feel a flutter in her chest every time Jessica smiled at her or brushed her hand against hers. Emma tried to ignore these feelings, knowing that it was complicated to have romantic feelings for her roommate. One night, while studying for a midterm, Jessica talked about her past relationships. She talked about how hard it was to trust people and how she often felt like she was putting on a show to please others. Emma listened intently, feeling a new sense of closeness with Jessica. After their conversation, Emma couldn't stop thinking about Jessica. She replayed the conversation in her head and wondered if there was any chance Jessica felt the same way about her. Emma knew it was risky to engage in a romantic relationship with her roommate, but she couldn't help but be drawn to Jessica's energy and passion. Subscribe to DeepL Pro to edit this document. Visit www.deepl.com/pro for more information. The next day, Emma found herself constantly looking at Jessica. She noticed the way her roommate's hair fell over her forehead and how her eyes sparkled when she laughed. Emma couldn't contain her feelings any longer. She had to tell Jessica how she felt. That night, as they prepared for bed, Emma took a deep breath and confessed her feelings to Jessica. Jessica looked at Emma in surprise, not knowing how to respond. "I'm sorry, Emma. I don't feel the same way," Jessica finally said. Emma felt embarrassed and ashamed. She wanted to crawl under the covers and never come out. She didn't know how she was going to face Jessica again, knowing that her roommate didn't reciprocate her feelings. For the next few days, Emma avoided Jessica as much as she could. She spent her free time studying in the library or taking long walks around campus. She didn't want things to look awkward between them, but she also couldn't bear the thought of being rejected again. One night, while Emma was studying in the library, Jessica came in and sat down across from her. "Emma, we need to talk," Jessica said. Emma tensed, wondering what Jessica was going to say. Was she going to tell her that they could no longer be roommates? "I know things are awkward between us right now, but I don't want to lose our friendship. You are one of the closest people in my life and I value that more than anything," Jessica said. Emma felt a wave of relief wash over her. She realized that, even if her feelings were unrequited, Jessica still cared about her and wanted to maintain their friendship. "I want to make things right between us. Can we talk about what happened and find a way to move forward?" asked Jessica. Emma nodded, feeling grateful that Jessica was willing to talk things through. They spent the next few hours talking about what had happened and how they could fix it, but nothing was clear. Over the next few weeks, Emma and Jessica worked hard to repair their friendship. They talked openly and honestly about what had happened between them and, slowly but surely, the tension between them began to fade. Emma still had feelings for Jessica, but she knew she needed to put those feelings aside if she wanted to save their friendship. She tried to focus on their shared interests and the things they enjoyed doing together, like going for walks or watching movies. As the semester progressed, Emma and Jessica grew even closer. They shared more personal stories and confided in each other about their hopes and fears for the future. Emma found herself grateful for Jessica's presence in her life, even if they could never be more than friends. One night, as they were getting ready for bed, Jessica turned to Emma and said, "I have to tell you something." Emma looked at Jessica, wondering what was on her mind. "I know you had feelings for me, and I want you to know that I appreciate your honesty." "It takes a lot of courage to confess your feelings to someone," Jessica said. Emma felt a wave of excitement wash over her. She had never expected Jessica to bring up their past conversation again. "I also want you to know that I think you are an amazing person. You're smart, kind and funny, and I'm lucky to have you as a friend," said Jessica. Emma felt a lump in her throat. She couldn't believe Jessica was saying those things to her. She had always admired Jessica's confidence and strength, and she had never expected Jessica to see anything in her. "Thank you," Emma said, her voice barely above a whisper. Jessica reached over and took Emma's hand. "I want you to know that I care deeply about you and I never want to lose you as my friend. Can we put this behind us and move on?" Emma nodded, feeling overwhelmed with emotion. She knew her feelings for Jessica would never completely disappear, but she was willing to do whatever it took to keep their friendship intact. Over the next few months, Emma and Jessica continued to spend time together. They took weekend trips, attended concerts, and even started a book club with some of their other friends. Emma found herself feeling happier than she had in a long time, and she knew it was because of Jessica. One night, as they sat in their bedroom, Emma couldn't help but blurt out, "I still have feelings for you, Jessica." Jessica looked at Emma and her expression softened. "I know, Emma. And I want you to know that I care deeply for you. But I don't think it's fair to you for me to be in a romantic relationship when I don't feel the same way." Emma nodded, feeling tears prick at the corners of her eyes. She knew Jessica was right, but it still hurt to hear her say it. "I just want you to know that you mean a lot to me and I'm grateful for our friendship," Jessica said, taking Emma's hand. Emma looked at Jessica, feeling a warm feeling spread through her body. She knew Jessica was right. They were meant to be friends, and she didn't want to risk losing that. As they sat there, holding hands and talking about their future plans, Emma knew she had made the right decision in telling Jessica how she felt. Even though things hadn't turned out the way she had hoped, she knew their friendship was stronger than ever. When Emma and Jessica finished their final exams, they both knew their time as roommates was coming to an end. Both had decided to move out of the dorms and look for off-campus apartments for the next school year. Emma was excited to start this new chapter in her life, but she also felt a pang of sadness at the thought of no longer living with Jessica. They had become such good friends over the past year, and Emma knew things would be different once they moved in. On the day of their move, Emma and Jessica hugged each other tightly. "I'm going to miss you so much," Emma said, her voice heavy with emotion. "I'm going to miss you too," Jessica said, her eyes glistening with tears. "But we'll still see each other all the time, right?" "Of course," Emma said, smiling through tears. Throughout the summer, Emma and Jessica kept in touch through text messages and occasional phone calls. Emma was busy with her summer job and spending time with her family, but she always made sure to talk to Jessica. As the fall semester approached, Emma and Jessica moved into their new apartments. Emma was excited to have her own space, but couldn't help but feel a little lonely without Jessica around. One day, Jessica texted Emma and asked if she wanted to come over for a movie. Emma eagerly agreed, grateful for the opportunity to see her friend. When Emma arrived at Jessica's apartment, she was surprised to see that Jessica had decorated the living room with candles and fairy lights. The room looked warm and cozy, and Emma couldn't help but feel a pang of excitement in her chest. They settled on the couch and started the movie, but Emma found it hard to concentrate. She kept casting furtive glances at Jessica, who looked beautiful in the flickering candlelight. When the movie ended, Jessica turned to Emma and said, "I have something I want to tell you." Emma's heart skipped a beat. She had a feeling she knew what Jessica was going to say. "I've been thinking a lot about our friendship and I've realized that I have feelings for you too," Jessica said in a soft voice. Emma's eyes widened in surprise. She couldn't believe what she was hearing. "I know we've talked about this before, and I've always said I only see you as a friend. But the truth is, I've been fighting these feelings for a while. And I don't want to fight them anymore," Jessica said. Emma felt a sense of elation wash over her. She had never expected Jessica to feel the same way, and now that she knew, she couldn't contain her excitement. "I feel the same way, Jessica," Emma said, with a smirk on her face. Jessica smiled back and they leaned in to kiss. It was soft and tender at first, but soon their passion ignited and they kissed passionately on the couch. As they walked away, Jessica whispered, "I've wanted to do that for so long." Emma laughed, feeling a sense of relief and happiness wash over her. She knew their relationship would be different now that they were sweethearts, but she was ready for whatever the future held. As they cuddled on the couch and talked about their plans for the future, Emma knew she had found the person she wanted to spend the rest of her life with. And she couldn't be happier. As Emma and Jessica's relationship blossomed, they became inseparable. They spent all their free time together, exploring the city, trying new restaurants and simply enjoying each other's company. Emma had never been in a serious relationship before and was amazed at how natural it felt to be with Jessica. They were always on the same wavelength, finishing each other's sentences and understanding each other's quirks. One day, Jessica surprised Emma with tickets for a romantic weekend getaway at a bed and breakfast in the country. Emma was thrilled with the idea of spending a weekend alone with Jessica, away from the stress of school and work. When they arrived at the bed and breakfast, Emma couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement and anticipation. The room was cozy and romantic, with a canopied bed and a fireplace. Jessica had even brought some candles to set the mood. As they settled in for the night, Emma snuggled up next to Jessica, feeling grateful for the opportunity to spend time alone together. "I can't believe how lucky I am to have you," Emma said, her voice full of emotion. "I feel the same way, Emma," Jessica replied, kissing her forehead. As they embraced, Emma felt a sense of peace wash over her. She knew she had found someone special, someone who understood her like no one else ever had. Over the next few months, Emma and Jessica's relationship continued to thrive. They graduated from college together, both with honors, and moved into a new apartment in the city. Emma began working at a marketing firm, while Jessica pursued her dream of becoming a graphic designer. As they built their life together, Emma couldn't help but feel grateful for the unexpected turn her life had taken. She had never expected to fall in love with her roommate, but now she couldn't imagine her life without Jessica. One day, as they rested on the couch, Jessica turned to Emma and said, "I want to spend the rest of my life with you." Emma's heart skipped a beat. She had been waiting for this moment for a long time, but she couldn't believe it was finally happening. "I feel the same way, Jessica," Emma said, tears of joy streaming down her face. And that's how they got engaged. They spent the next few months planning the wedding of their dreams, surrounded by their friends and family. As Emma walked down the hallway toward Jessica, she couldn't believe how far they had come. From roommates to best friends to soulmates, their journey had been unexpected, but it had taken them to where they were meant to be. When they exchanged vows, Emma knew she had found the person she was destined to spend the rest of her life with. And as they kissed as wife and wife, she felt a sense of joy and satisfaction that she knew would last a lifetime. After their wedding, Emma and Jessica settled into married life. They continued to support each other in their careers and pursued their dreams together. While celebrating their first anniversary, Jessica surprised Emma with a trip to Paris. Emma had always dreamed of visiting the city of love, and Jessica knew it would be the perfect way to celebrate their first year of marriage. As they strolled through the streets of Paris, holding hands, Emma was overwhelmed with love and gratitude. She couldn't believe how lucky she was to have Jessica by her side and to be able to experience this beautiful city with her. One night, while dining at a romantic restaurant, Jessica reached into her pocket and pulled out a small box. "Emma, I have something for you," he said, a smile playing at the corners of his mouth. Emma's heart began to race as she watched Jessica open the box to reveal a beautiful diamond ring. "Will you renew your vows with me, Emma?" asked Jessica, her eyes sparkling with love. Tears streamed down Emma's face as she nodded her head. As they renewed their vows in front of the Eiffel Tower, Emma was overcome with emotion. She knew she had found her soulmate and would love Jessica for the rest of her life. When they returned home from Paris, Emma and Jessica continued to build a beautiful life together. They traveled the world, pursued their passions, and supported each other through every challenge. Years passed, and as they celebrated their 10th wedding anniversary, Emma couldn't believe how quickly the time had passed. But she also knew that every moment with Jessica had been worth it. As they renewed their vows once again, surrounded by their loved ones, Emma knew that their love story would continue for many years to come. Together they had built a life full of love, laughter, and adventure. And Emma knew there was no one else she would rather share it with than Jessica, her best friend and soulmate. As they entered their golden years, Emma and Jessica still shared the same love and devotion they had on their wedding day. They continued to explore the world together, but now at a slower pace, savoring every moment and memory. They often reflected on their love story and how they had found each other in the most unexpected way. Emma knew that fate had brought them together and was grateful every day for the chance meeting that had led her to the love of her life. As they sat together in their garden, holding hands and watching the sunset, Emma turned to Jessica and said, "You know, even after all these years, you still take my breath away." Jessica smiled and kissed Emma's hand. "And you, my love, still make my heart go pitter-patter." They sat in silence for a moment, basking in the warm glow of their love. Emma knew she had found the missing piece of her heart in Jessica and would love her until the end of time. As the sun sank below the horizon, Emma closed her eyes and whispered a silent prayer of thanks for the love she had found in Jessica. She knew that no matter what life threw at them, they would face it together, with unwavering love and devotion. And so Emma and Jessica's love story continued, a testament to the power of fate, love, and the unbreakable bond between two souls who were destined to be together.